Will you tell us about your early days in Los Angeles?
Well, when I first came down here, didn't have no money, nothing like that. The record company I was with was called Swing Time Records, and the guy was named Jack Lauderdale, who was the owner of the company. And he would take me around. For some reason, he took a liking to me. So, you know, I got to meet a lot of people. I got to hear a lot of good music because a lot of the clubs were open. You could go in and, you know, you could, it's not like it is now, you know.
Yes.
But in those days, you had several clubs that had good music. Good music. You could go and sit in a jam or sit in with the cats if you wanted.
Yes.
And basically, when I came here, I was just moving around as a youngster, you know, trying to play my music, and Jack Lauderdale, as I say, who was the owner of this record company, you know, he wouldn't pay me no royalties, but what he would do, he used to love to take me with him, as I say, and he'd go to these places and they'd be gambling, you know, and I'd say, hey Jack, let me have $500, I want to get in the game, and I'd say it in front of everybody, so he would, all right, here it is, man, here's $500, so I'd bet 100 and keep the other 4. But that's the way I made it. I'm telling you the truth. You know, because there wasn't no royalties. That was dead.
That was dead. Well, now I understand also that he sold your contract to Atlantic Records.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
And then you were with Atlantic Records for a number of years.
Yes, ma'am.
Will you talk about that period? This was in the early 50s, right?
That's right.
Yes.
Well, it was a great relationship with Atlantic, and what I loved about these guys, they were truly into music. I mean, it's not like it is today where you got, and I don't mean no harm, but the truth is, you know, where you got lawyers and accountants running record companies and they can't snap their fingers to a march.
Yes, I agree.
But Atlantic, when I went there, I made about 4 records that didn't do nothing. And I was nervous, and I remember going and talking to Jerry Wexler one day, and I said, you know, Jerry, I'm very concerned, man. He said, wait, what's the matter? What's the matter with you? And I said, well, you know, I've been over here, man, and I haven't come up with no kind of hit or no nothing. He said, is that what's bothering you? I said, yeah. He said, well, don't worry about no hits. You just keep making the music. The hits will come. I mean, that's the way he felt, and he was right.
So he gave you the space.
That's right.
He gave you the
he
space
just said,
to
all
develop.
you do, you keep making music. You tell us when you want to record. You come in and record, and we'll take care of we take care of the marketing, and you take care of the music.
What a fantastic environment for you.
It was great for me because I was so scared. You know, I don't know. I was very concerned that you know, these people would let me do this recording, and I wasn't doing nothing, and nothing was happening. But then, after a while, it began to happen. You know, I started doing things, and I did a song for them called "Do the Mess Around."
Yes.
Yeah, and that began to that's so big, you know. Next thing when I did "I Got a Woman," well, that was huge.
Yes.
You know, so by them waiting, because you know nowadays if you make 2 records and you haven't sold nothing, you're out of there.
Yes. Yes. Very different.
But these guys took the attitude, you know, and they not only with me but all their artists, they felt like these are talented people. They will come up with something sooner or later. And I have to say, 95% of the time, they were right.
They were right. And you had a long history with them,
I sure did. And I didn't want to leave them either. I mean, when ABC offered me this wonderful contract where they were going to pay me 75 cents out of every dollar.
Yes.
And I went to Atlantic, and because I didn't want to leave Atlantic, and I showed them the contract, you know.
Yes.
And they said, you know, Ray, if well, not the contract, but the proposal.
Yes.
And they said to me, well, Ray, we got to tell you the truth. If ABC is not joking, if they're not, you know, if they're really sincere, then you have to go with them with our blessings, because we can't pay that. We just can't do it. And until this day, the rapport I have with Atlantic is just like I was still there. I could ask them for anything. They did something that is unheard of.
Yes.
On my 25th anniversary, and I was recording for ABC, okay?
Yes.
But they gave me their masters to put on ABC's label. That's unheard of.
But speaking of
did it.
masters, that was part of your deal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That you negotiated to keep your masters, which
That-
was unheard of.
Well, I did that
Mr.
with
Charles.
ABC, but I didn't have that with Atlantic. That
No,
was the
not
thing
with
I meant.
Atlantic, but with ABC.
But
I'm
yeah,
sorry. Yes.
Yeah. But I was just showing you how nice these guys were, because I mean, when you recorded for another company, ain't no record company gonna give you permission to use their record on another record label. That just ain't gonna happen. But
Yes.
they did it. I mean, as I say, even until this, anything I want from Atlantic, they'll give it to me, no problem. So when I was dealing with Sam Clark, the president of ABC, the thought came to me, well, look, I won't sign the contract, true enough, but I'm gonna ask him for my masters in it, because all he can say is yes or no.
That's right.
And when I asked him, he said, first thing Sam Clark said, he said, oh my God, Mr. Charles, we've never done this before. I mean, I have to talk to Mr. Goldstein upstairs about this. But Mr. Goldstein,
But he didn't say no.
Yeah, he was the president of ABC Paramount at the time. And fortunately for me, because they wanted me over there so bad, Mr. Goldstein told Sam Clark, he says, look, whatever Ray Charles wants, give it to him.
That's
But
right.
you see, had I not asked, I wouldn't have got it.
That's right.
You see, so I believe in it. Ask for what you want, but for God's sake, don't get mad and upset if you get the answer that you don't want. Well, I think the two biggest recordings I had with ABC was Georgia and I Can't Stop Loving You.
Oh.
Yeah, those were. I mean, we had other hits on ABC, but
Yes.
those were the biggest ones, and they're still around today. People still love those songs.